looking for a manifestation of a job or a partner or anybody, instead of saying, oh, I would like a partner who looks like this or who goes here, or a job has this job,
like
we
a
say,
shopping list.
like a shopping list, we say, hey, I would like to experience a loving restaurant dinner with somebody who understands me. So kind of having the experience written from your point of view, what you are wanting to experience. Now, whoever is wanting to match that experience with you will show up.
Matching energetic.
Yes, instead of saying, hey, I want you, please be this person, we say, I want to experience this. Whoever is willing to experience the same with me, find me here.
Yes, that's incredible. Now, going back to your second book, because I did say I'm going to ask you some questions about your second book. What's fascinating is that before the reader, so it's an interactive book, is it in a sort of digital format?
It's a virtually real experience.
Okay, and before the person experiencing the book can go on to the next chapter, they have to go through some tasks.
Processes.
Could you tell me more about that?
Yes, so the second book is called The Awakening 4 Portals to Gain Higher Levels of Love, Power, Abundance and Purpose. So the book is divided into 4 parts. And it's the first part, let's say, is element air.
Okay.
So the now element air is all about their minds, about their belief systems, about their oxygen, about their creativity, about their fertility. So once you have experienced or mastered the element air, then you will go into element water, then you'll go into element fire, and then finally you land into element earth. So it's kind of like how you can only see your earth body, but you have a mental body, you have an emotional body, and you have a spiritual body.
Right.
So the Awakening 4 Portals, portal means a gateway, takes you onto a journey of your own elemental self, of your own air self, your own fire self, your own water self, finally becoming your own earth self. So it's like having your 4 seeds of expression, air, water, earth, fire, on this earth. And your element earth is your symbol. Remember I was telling you sound of each language.
Yes.
The element air has the language numbers. The element water is the sound. The element fire is the colors. The element earth is the symbol. Now how is it relevant into our day-to-day life? So by understanding people's symbol, meaning their name, you can understand their destiny. You know, the name carries their destiny.
Yes.
By understanding people's time of birth or date of birth, you can understand their soul plan, what vibrational frequency they are experiencing in this lifetime. By understanding people's religion, you can find out their soul's color expression. By finding out people's country of birth, you can understand their language, their sound. And when you understand these 4 things, you can understand their emotion, you can understand their mind, you can understand their spirit, and also when you learn the language, you can communicate to their mind, through their emotion, through their spirit, by passing the words, because words only consent of 7% of your communication. The 93% of your communication is your tonality, is your non-verbal cues, is your non-physical intentions. So the second book transcends the limitation of the words and takes you onto a journey of the elements and captures the vibration and learn how to speak the language of that vibration.
So when the reader or the person interacting with your book through the virtual world comes to the end of the first part of the book, how many tasks or processes do they have before they can go on to the next part? And is there like a time frame? They have to do some sort of
yes. So each part,
assignment, I guess.
So basically the second book is a build up from the first book,
sure,
which is the 9 principles and the chakras.
Yeah.
So each part is the second book is like so element air, now they have to be abundant in all 7 chakras of their air element. So it's almost like your element air is their mind, it leads them to abundance. So in the first part, they will have 7 processes, which is the chakras. They have to go through it to upgrade their abundance level. Once they have abundance, then they move into love. When they have love, then they move into power. When they have power, then they have purpose.
And any of the processes involve meditation?
So it's meditation, it's task, it's writing, journaling, it's looking at the sacred healing arts, it's doing some communication, some conversations. It's really going on to a journey of your own self and understanding what your mind has in store for you, what your emotions are carrying for you, what your spirit has in store for you, and why you are on this earth.
Okay, what's interesting in what you just said in the first sort of part of the second book is that I could take something that perhaps you can describe to the audience. Let's say an average person out there who's at the beginning of their journey, but they might want to improve their mental health and their well-being. What are the rituals you can suggest they could practice daily just to feel better about themselves before they start reading your books?
I love this question because I love practical, simple tips.
Yeah, because mental health is a big challenge, and the suicide rate globally is on an increase.
100%.
Especially men between age 15 and 45.
Wow, that's incredible. So in order for us to have a healthy mental balance, and on a day-to-day, what you use is you can focus on the words that you are using. So there are two types of sentences, I say. One is a PO type of sentence, positively organized energy, and one is a DO type of sentence, which is densely organized energy.
Okay.
So words carry weightage. Absolutely. They have energy. When you say the word sadness, your body has this consciousness of sadness. You have an emotional experience. Yes. So, and notice on the words that you are using about yourself, about other people, how many no's are you? Yes, watch your language and reframe. Because I'm telling you, it's the way we phrase our events. If a murder is phrased correctly, it becomes a martyr.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you watch that YouTube video. I absolutely love it. It's in my book. There's a blind man who's sitting there, and there's the bowl there empty. And there's a board there that says, please help me, I can't see. And people are just walking by, nobody's seeing, and he's just there, and then he feels a walking feet, lady comes in, she picks up the board, she changes the writing. And she leaves. And as soon as she changes the writing, and people who are now walking by, everybody starts to give him coins. Everybody starts to give him change. And then he was really gobsmacked and surprised. And at the end of the day, when the lady came, he recognized by her foot. Mm-hmm. And she said, "What did you do? How suddenly after you went, everybody started giving me money." She said, "I said the same thing, but just in a different way. I wrote, 'It's a beautiful day,' and I can't see it."
Wow, that's incredible. So, practical things. As you said, watch your language, how you speak to yourself. The way I say to and describe to people I work with, I say, everyone is an expert in neuro-linguistic programming, but they're just not aware of it. Because, you can say, "I am," but what you attach to "I am" becomes your reality. So you can say, I'm rich or I'm poor, I'm healthy or I'm sick, I'm happy or I'm sad. And not just what you say, is what you experience, what feeling you attach to the words you say. And a lot of people have a mental rehearsal under their conscious awareness. So what you said about pay attention, be aware. So I guess you mentioned journaling. This, one of the sort of practical tasks, comes into play, where if you do some journaling, it helps you to become aware of your internal dialogue.
Correct. And there are two types of journaling. One, you can journal offload. So,
yes.
And one, you can journal to remember and recognize. So the first one works like magic. Even if you're having any emotional pain or any kind of physical pain,
you feel lighter, you open your heart.
You pay attention to that pain, and then you imagine that your pen is talking.
Yeah.
Through that pain.
Absolutely.
And you're just writing, and you are writing whatever that pain is saying to you, through you, and you are offloading it, and then you burn it. You breathe 3 times on that paper, and you imagine all that energy, all that is going out on that paper, and you burn it, or you flush it, or you recycle it, and you let it go. And
some people do rituals in the shower. Every time they wash stuff off.
Same.
And sometimes even when they use the bathroom, they do the ritual. They focus the energy on whenever they release, however many times a day, they release. It's all about being aware of it.
Yeah, it's like Buddha was walking with his disciple, and suddenly a man was watching, and he comes and he says, you know, I've been watching you for days, and why are these people crazy about you? And I've been watching you. You do the same thing as we do. What's so different about you? You eat, you sleep, you walk. What's so different? Buddha smiled, and Buddha said, when we walk, we know we are walking. When we sleep, we know we are sleeping. When we talk,
Present
we know
moment.
is a present moment.
Yeah.
And for me, bathroom time is the healing. For me, washroom is the healing room. When I'm brushing my teeth, I'm releasing all subconscious resistance to love. When I'm literally taking a shit, I'm releasing all shit from my life. So it's kind of using your physical chores with an intention of energetic cleansing. So even when you're mopping the floor of your house, you're imagining all the base is clean and covered for all your chakras.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's fascinating. And beside meditation you mentioned, is there a particular type of meditation that you could recommend to the audience? Because there are, you know, hundreds of types of meditations.
I would recommend my meditations.
Yes, please.
School of Awakening. Yes.
Can you tell me more about it? If somebody could practice at home, is there a number of minutes, or is it 20 minutes, an hour a day? And what is the process? Could you describe it for us?
Yes. For me, so there's the meditation is a prescription for me. Okay. And it has to be used with an intention. For example, I have over 255 audios from different types of challenges. But the difference which I feel is you listen to that with the intention, you find the problem in your body, and you ask the...
Could I take your call?
Yes, sure. And you allow the sound, whatever the sound is coming through the ear, to enter in that part of your consciousness, in that part of your body. And usually it's about 5 to 7 minutes long. Or if it's a deeper one, if it's a transmission, it's about 15 minutes long. So I have meditations which work in the mind. I have activations which work on the emotion. And then I have something called transmissions which work on your spiritual body. So they have different length, and they work on different part of your body, and they have 7 days for 3 times, you know. And then you have come back to us and then evaluate and see how much of it has shifted and changed. So I've created an online, we're talking about suicide watch, Scott, before the recording. Yes. So a small step from me, I have created a 24-hour online flow channel where people can come and ask for bespoke meditations, question and answer. It's completely free, and it's on Zoom platform.
Yes, I know Zoom. Yeah, I have taken your card. Yes, 352-367-242, and we have countries USA, Canada, India and UK. So it's 24 hours.
It's 24 hours, and it's a specifically second book research. I was telling you, you said we have the places. So the place that we have one place is representing element earth, one place is representing element water, one place is representing element fire, and one is air. So we have taken 4 countries, each representing a pure element, and bringing them all together on one flow of 24 hours. So anytime, anywhere, we are united in light and divided in life.
Incredible. So the sort of flow group where anyone can come into to sort of help themselves through their challenges, through their obstacles.
Correct.
And there are sort of principles and teachings that they can take home in the audio and video version, I guess.
Correct.
And there's like a guided meditations.
Yes.
And you mentioned different aspects, different types of meditation. Is there recommendation after people have been practicing for a while, for a number of months or years, that they can integrate the number of meditations into one long session of an hour or 2, or do you recommend the shorter sessions in different times of the day?
You know, I would recommend shorter sessions in different times of the day because human psyche attention is very, very small. So that's why the day is divided into morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So if you take some time out, you know, after every few hours for 5-7 minutes and say, you know, right now I'm cleansing my mental body. So all my limiting decisions, all my limiting beliefs, I clean it. And you focus on doing a meditation for your mental body. Then after a few hours, you come together and you say, okay, for next 10 minutes, I'm working on my emotions. So all those who have hurt me, all those who have harmed me, I'm just focusing. That's activations. So you are sending light to your emotional body. Then few hours later you say, okay, my spiritual vows, any contracts, any promises that I might have made in any other lifetime that might keeping my spirit dim, or thing, I'm transmitting light into my spiritual body, so all the dead light zones can be uplifted so my spirit can work through my body.
I see. Incredible. Now, before we go on to the next question, could you tell the audience where they could find you online? Beside, obviously, where they can purchase your books and where they can find you online if they want to follow your work, social media.
Yes, so I'm on Insta, Sidra Jafri Live. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook. We are at the moment in the middle of transitioning the websites because, in all honesty, for the last 3 years, I've had a website called School of Awakening, www.schoolawakening and www.sidrajafri.com. And there have been thousands of hours worth of material for years that people have been experiencing.
Yes, I've been following those, yes.
Exactly. So for me personally, I put a stop on that. The reason why I put a stop on that, because I've upgraded my consciousness and I realize that people get comfortable in their healing processes and the problem goes away, but their practices don't go away.
I see what you mean.
Of that problem. So this year, on the 24th of March 2019, I took that big risk on my own self and dissolved the websites. I dissolved the website and I said to all of my clients, all of my customers and staff, that this is the Zoom platform ID. Anything you need at any time, come to us, then we will give you a prescription for a week or a 2 week or a 3 weeks. So maximum a prescription lasts for 3 to 6 weeks. If the same meditation, the same process, same tool hasn't worked for 6 to 9 weeks,
you're probably not doing it.
It's time to change the tool. Maybe the problem is happening in your emotional body, but you're trying to do a meditation to fix your mental body.
Correct.
So it's time to re-evaluate. So that's why now I'm focusing on a social prescription model and a bespoke, because every problem is unique, even though it's the same shit, different pile, but the person who's experiencing it is unique.
Correct.
And that's why all my teachings, all my trainings are bespoke, because every single person is unique as their thumbprint. So how can I give you a monthly meditation?
Yeah, template that fits it like
millions. Yes. So we have like people who are actively, humanly involved as a taker of any person. For example, we had few weeks ago, we had this lady who had anxiety attack at night and she couldn't sleep. So she joined into the flow and the moderator who was there played a meditation of quantum clearing, and then she was able to sleep.
Amazing.
So it's kind of having that concept that I'm developing where human interaction, human connection is more important than the artificial illusion of connection, which is why I created...
I agree with you 100%, and I think also when you create sort of books and products where people can interact through, they feel and have an experience of perhaps beginning of awakening, but then they don't do the practices when they are at home. Exactly. And they go back to their old habitual rituals. And I think this bespoke way, as you call it, prescription, and a human interaction connection, it's, I think, what will elevate human consciousness quicker and help people. Because what you're actually doing, if I may say so, it's you are not saying to people, I'm your guru, I'm your teacher. I am here just to remove some clouds, to remove some sort of curtains so you can see
for yourself
how amazing you already are, the light that resides within you. You are not your limitations, you are not your past traumas, your past experiences, you are beyond your wildest dream. So you are providing the prescription that they take home and they practice. And as you say, if after 6-8 weeks they haven't had the results, they have to perhaps take a different prescription.
Yes, and come to us. So because since I was running Awakenings, and by the grace of God, they were very, very successful. I don't know which one you attended, but people used to cross, step over each other.
And some of the people I met, they've been to every few times a year, because I met this lady. She was your roadie. She was like, oh, and you see, my conclusion, as in your work, you had conclusion of patterns. Yeah. So my observation of all these people was that their belief that something or someone outside of them needs to be as an intermediary for them to arrive to who they truly are.
Exactly. But the problem I was facing with such people was it was a junkie. It was turning into an addiction. Sidradization was becoming a fix.
Yes.
Rather than using the tool to change their life, they're using the tool to connect on pain points.
Absolutely.
That's why I dissolved the live events and I went online in the comfort of your own home. So you have no excuse for no cost or whatever it is. You have a person who is there online, the sound voice, and making you do the work that needs to be done.
That's incredible. I mean, I guess you still do certain events where people pay for, because you have overheads.
I do soul spas. So I do live retreats, 4-day retreats, and I'm doing 8 retreats in a year for the next 4 years. It's part of my research.
Different parts of the country?
So I'm doing, different parts of the country. 2 are happening in London, in Zion Park.
Oh, different parts of the world.
Yes. And then 6 are happening in India. 2 in Mumbai, 2 in Bangalore, and 2 in Chennai. And it's kind of like my research project. I'm writing 4 books, believe it or not.
Incredible.
Yes, so the soul spas are my way of launching a university of eternity, and each season, a soul spa has a season where it teaches a language. So destiny season teaches the language of color, the fertility season teaches the language of numbers, the magic season teaches the language of sound, and the cosmic season teaches the language of symbols. And that's what I'm researching for the next 4 years. I'm doing 2 symbol, 2 sound, 2 numbers, and 2 light classes to download the knowledge and then see who Spartan, I call them, is willing to take that knowledge and make it forward into the world.
I love the concept of download and
upload.
Yes, download and upload. I see what you mean. But I guess I can imagine that through your life, through your work, you have had certain people around you who have been almost at the same level of download, because when you're in the alignment, and it's a great experience that you have so many people at the same time receiving the download and passing on this universal conscious knowledge.
Exactly. It's so beautiful, because that's now I'm not the only one who knows it all. We have a platform where we have a divination head, where we have a ascension head, where we have an ABC head, and together everyone accesses magic, and that's why we are a team.
You said access the magic. What I experience that is so beautiful about being a human being is that when people surrender to who they truly are and like invest time to have these experiences, they just start to experience magic,
a different life
in their life, and everything. There's miracles and magic, like coincidences, serendipities, synchronicities. Like the problems in the physical reality, which we call problem, they start to miraculously dissolve and disappear. And you just get elevated on the level beyond your conscious understanding. You cannot conceptualize it. You just have to experience it. And I think what you are doing, it's incredible. It's incredible work. And I think as at the beginning, we have not recorded this, but now we can mention it again, that you feel, as well as I do, that 2020 something amazing is coming for the masses, for humanity, for global consciousness. Could you tell us more about that, please?
Yes. As we were discussing, 2020 is a massive year for Earth itself. Why? Because everything on earth is cyclical. You know, there's a time loop.
Yes.
And 2012 was the Mayan calendar, where one time loop of 26,000 years and 960 years, a cycle of time is completed, and the transition between 2012 and 2021, the 2020 is the first stepping stone into the new timeline. So all the forces of nature, all the intergalactic council, the Syrian council, the Acturian council, all of them are super excited to see how Earth's next cycle of time will unfold for human species.
Incredible. I have spoken with a number of people within the industry, and they have described it as what is happening with individuals and their own awakening process, where there was a challenge in their life that they have been experiencing from, say, 2012 till 2019, whether it was in relationship or finance or business or health. Same is happening to the sort of universal
Earth.
consciousness, the earth, the governments, the everything. So everything is at the last sort of cycle of breaking apart. That's why, pardon my French, we have loads of crazy people in different governments around
Correct.
the world. And this is just sort of the last bit before it all falls apart and becomes awakened to who the humanity truly is.
And become citizen of Earth.
Absolutely, that all the barriers and all the labels, which that's what they are. It's like the religion is a label, the name, the job,
The gender.
everything else is the label. And what I would like to ask you, in your own words, if you can describe what you think and feel the human being is, or you can talk about yourself, who and what you think you are as a human being. Are you a human being having an experience, or are you something else having an experience?
They say, C.S. Lewis described it, they say we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I fundamentally believe that.
So do I.
So he said it better than me.
So I say the same thing, but I didn't want to put my words into your mouth. So.
Spiritual beings, and I find it very fascinating when people said, oh, I'm not a spiritual person, but how are you breathing? That's your spirit. You just don't know what level of your spiritual friends are. Might be
intellectually not understanding doesn't mean you are not.
And I fundamentally believe that life is light in finite experience.
Sure.
That's what life is.
Yeah.
And we descend to ascend, and that's the game we play with ourselves.
Yes. But this knowledge, which you just described, the spiritual being having a human experience, this has been written about for thousands of years, has been spoken about in all the religions, in all the books, just using different language. Some places they call it life force, some places they call it Holy Spirit, Chi, Kundalini, bioenergy, everything. They're different names, but it's the same thing. They're talking about which resides within all of us.
Correct.
And, you know, I guess Kundalini is more often used in India and in sort of those countries in Asia, but it's the same thing. They use Chi. So this life force which resides within us, prana, exactly, it's a creator of everything. It's basically, I say to people, universe, what the universe is made out of, you're made out of the same thing,
exactly,
which resides within you. So when you connect to this, you literally become a conduit, you become a channel, and just everything just channels through you.
Correct.
Which is incredible. Well, Sidra, thank you very much. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I think this is not going to be the last time we have you as a guest on our podcast,
Thank you.
on our video show. And I would love to come and see you again when your second book is available for the readers, for the audience, so we can talk more into details about the practical steps in your book. And is there any events that you are doing in the next 3 months that you would like our audience to know about? As an expert in awakening, expert in energies, in chakras, in healing, sort of mass awakening of who we are as a human being, our infinite love, infinite intelligence. So are any of the events sort of between now and spring that you are planning in the UK?
Yes, we have online events in the UK for the first first quarter of the year.
Okay.
And we have I'm thinking we have so much happening. We have Soul Spa live event that is happening in the UK,
Okay.
which is in April in Zion Park. But in before that we are
Where
in
is that, Zion Park?
Zion Park is just in Isleworth in
Oh, okay. So it's in Isleworth in Zion Park in April.
23rd,
And more
24th.
information can be found where?
SidraJafri.com.
They can receive more information about
Correct.
the new event, yes?
Correct.
And is there an official date for your second book?
Well, it is 17th of March. It's the launch of the VBL. So instead of launching the entire book, as I said, I'm launching the concept of the book, the second book, The Awakening Four Portals, on the 17th of March. So the trials and the concept, everything will be in the open on 17th of March,
so
2020.
People can subscribe, they can participate in the
trials.
The trials of I would say the first part, as you said, 4 parts. So as they are interacting through the first part, they have the assignments and rituals and practices that they have to do at home. The next part will be made
Released.
available.
Correct.
And second part, this is incredible. I mean, it's 2020. It's a most exciting time, I think, for all of us. Yeah?
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you very much again. It's been an absolute pleasure.